Do you think heart attacks only strike when you're stressed, angry, or physically overexerted? In reality, many people over 60 in the US have experienced a heart attack right in their own homes, just after waking up before eating or drinking anything and without any clear warning signs. They simply never woke up again. According to the American Heart Association, the majority of heart attacks after 60 occur within the first 3 hours after waking. This is when the body is slightly dehydrated, blood vessels constrict, and the heart has to pump harder to compensate for the physiological changes after sleep. That sudden shift can lead to blood clots, chest pain, or worse, sudden cardiac arrest. The scary part is many people still start their mornings with seemingly harmless habits. A sugary coffee, a bottle of store-bought juice, or worse, nothing at all. Repeating those habits daily could actually triple your heart attack risk. As a doctor, I made this video to help you recognize and change 5 morning habits that are quietly harming your heart. They're simple, cost nothing, and could prevent a heart attack naturally starting tomorrow. 1. The most common and most dangerous. Morning mistake. After a long night without food or water, your body becomes mildly dehydrated even if you don't feel it. For younger people, this isn't a big deal. But if you're over 60, morning dehydration can make your blood thicker, your blood vessels constrict, and your heart work harder to keep circulation going. That means increased pressure on your arteries, which over time raises your heart attack risk. A study published in the journal Circulation found that blood in older adults becomes less flexible in the morning, especially if they don't rehydrate immediately after waking up. This is a key factor that can lead to blood clots, myocardial ischemia, and even a silent heart attack, a heart attack with no obvious symptoms. I remember Evelyn, a 72-year-old patient who lived alone and maintained a relatively healthy lifestyle, balanced meals, regular yoga. But she had one seemingly harmless habit. Every morning she would make coffee water. Her plants, all without drinking any water first. One morning she felt an unusual heartbeat and called me. No major pain, no fainting, just a strange gut feeling. When she was brought to the ER, the diagnosis confirmed she had suffered a mild heart attack. Blood tests showed unusually high viscosity, and the cause was nothing more than a long-standing habit of skipping water first thing in the morning. The lesson here is simple. Drink a glass of plain water about 250 ml, either warm or room temperature, right after waking up. That's enough to support your heart thin, your blood reduce strain on the cardiovascular system, and help prevent a heart attack after 60. 2. The morning cup of coffee. A social ritual, but a personal risk. Last week, I was sitting in a familiar coffee shop where many older adults gather every morning. They come after their early walks, chat, read the news, and start the day with cappuccinos sweetened with syrup, iced mochas topped with whipped cream, or almond milk lattes with added sugar. No one sees it as a problem. To many, coffee is a symbol of alertness and a healthy daily ritual. But from a cardiologist's perspective, I see a different story. When someone over 60 drinks store-bought or calf-style coffee loaded with sugar and on an empty stomach, and without having any water first, they're triggering coronary artery constriction, a sudden spike in blood pressure and forcing the heart to beat harder than usual. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that combining caffeine and sugar without breakfast can increase heart rate by 18% and raise blood pressure by about 10 mmHg within an hour. For younger people, that might just feel like a quick rush. But for older adults, it's enough to trigger a heart attack, especially if arteries are already narrowed or blood is thickened from dehydration. The issue isn't the coffee, it's how we drink it. When you start your day with the sugary coffee without drinking water. First, you're putting sudden strain on your heart, something no aging heart wants. If you still want your morning coffee, begin with a glass of banana water, then opt for black coffee without sugar or unsweetened plant-based milk if needed. Don't let a familiar morning habit become the quiet factor that edges you closer to a heart attack after 60. 3. Bottled juice sweet on the outside. Dangerous on the inside. During a health talk at a retirement club, someone asked me, "I don't drink soda or coffee. I only drink fruit juice every morning. That's good for the heart, right, doctor?" That question caught me off guard because it reflects a very common misconception among older adults. They believe that bottled fruit juice is natural and heart-friendly. But in reality, what you're drinking isn't fruit, it's liquid sugar. Concentrate flavored to taste like fruit. Unlike whole fruit, which contains fiber that slows sugar absorption, commercial juice is usually stripped of fiber and packed with concentrated fructose. When consumed in the morning on an empty stomach, that sugar rushes into the bloodstream, spiking glucose and insulin levels, causing blood vessels to constrict, just as the heart is working to stabilize its rhythm after sleep. For people over 60, that kind of physiological fluctuation can be enough to trigger a heart attack. A study from Harvard confirmed this: people who drink juice regularly have a higher risk of heart disease and type 2 diabetes than those who eat whole fruits with skin. For an aging cardiovascular system, starting the day with what seems like a healthy, sweet drink is actually an invisible sugar bomb. My advice is simple: instead of bottled juice, eat whole fruits or make a smoothie with banana, apple, and chia seeds. That helps keep blood sugar stable, eases the load on your heart, and helps prevent sudden heart attack symptoms in the morning. A small change, but one that can protect you from something much bigger. 4. Diet soda, sugar-free, but far from harmless. One of the most common mistakes I see in older patients is switching from regular soda to diet soda, believing that no sugar means no harm to the heart. But in reality, diet soda isn't as simple as its name suggests. The sugar may be gone, but in its place are artificial sweeteners like aspartame and sucralose, substances that can negatively impact the heart, brain, and metabolism. I once treated a 66-year-old man. He didn't smoke, followed a careful diet, yet still suffered a mild heart attack one morning. When I looked deeper into his daily routine, I found that he drank 2 cans of diet soda every morning instead of coffee. He thought he was making a heart-smart choice. But in fact, the artificial sweeteners in diet soda can disrupt insulin response, cause inflammation in the blood vessels, and affect heart rhythm, especially in those with less flexible coronary arteries. A study published in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society found that older adults who drank diet soda daily had a 29% higher risk of major cardiovascular events. On top of that, diet soda has a mild diuretic effect. It can increase morning dehydration, thicken the blood, and indirectly raise the risk of blood clots, a leading cause of heart attacks. If you enjoy the fizzy sensation or light sweetness in the morning, there are much safer alternatives: sparkling mineral water with a few slices of lemon, fresh mint, or a splash of pure fruit juice. It won't disrupt your metabolism, won't strain your heart, and most importantly, it won't fool you with the label sugar-free. 5. Skipping breakfast. When the heart struggles in silence. One of the most common mistakes I see in older adults is skipping breakfast, especially among those who say, "I'm not hungry," or "a cup of coffee is enough to wake me up." But for people over 60, skipping breakfast isn't just about fasting. It means forcing the heart to work without fuel at the most sensitive time of the day. After a long night of sleep, blood sugar levels are already low, and the body needs energy to kickstart its metabolic functions. If you don't eat and instead drink coffee, or worse, coffee with sugar syrup or soda, your cortisol levels spike, causing a temporary rise in blood pressure, vascular constriction, and extra strain on the heart as it tries to maintain circulation. I once treated Richard, a 69-year-old man with a very active lifestyle. He woke up early every morning but skipped breakfast, just drank black coffee, and started his workout. One morning he felt dizzy and experienced an abnormal heartbeat while out walking. Tests later revealed mild arrhythmia caused by low blood sugar, along with vascular constriction and increased cardiac stress, the early warning signs of a silent heart attack. A study published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology stated, people who regularly skip breakfast have an 87% higher risk of developing cardiovascular disease compared to those who eat a full breakfast. Skipping breakfast doesn't directly cause a heart attack, but it forces the heart to operate under unbalanced conditions, especially when combined with dehydration, caffeine, and fluctuating blood pressure. Younger bodies may compensate, but after 60, that compensation might be too much to handle. After 60, the heart becomes more sensitive to even the smallest daily habits, especially in the morning. If you start your day with sugar, the wrong kind of caffeine, or worse, nothing to drink at all, your risk of a heart attack will quietly keep climbing over time. But just a few simple changes. A glass of plain water, a properly brewed cup of coffee, a whole fruit instead of bottled juice can go a long way in protecting your heart every single day. If you found this video helpful, share it with your loved ones. Hit like, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below. What do you usually drink in the morning? It'll show you the best choices to prevent a heart attack naturally.